Welcome back to Impossibly Unremarkable, a podcast hosted by myself, Jonathon Butts, and my longtime friend, co-host, and life partner, Elliott Markson.
That is right, and we're back for another episode of this podcast, and today we're just two rivals, beefing hard. We're going to squash the beef? Stay tuned. Isn't that right?
Sure.
Yeah.
That one didn't make sense.
What do you mean? We're beefing.
I thought we were friends. In fact, I said it, and I've said it in every single intro.
That we're friends?
Yeah, I said my lifelong friend.
I just thought that was a part of your whole shtick. I didn't think that was...
True?
Yeah, I didn't know if that was actually what we were doing. Sorry, I just thought this was a business relationship.
So is this like an Ash Team Rocket scenario? I'm clearly Ash.
I don't know if it's Team Rocket.
And you're more of like a Meowth?
Maybe like I'm Ash and you're like one of the gym leaders. Like,
oh, okay.
Like we kind of develop a little relationship, but we're not like friends. Like I'm beating you when it comes to business. Like I'm standing on business, bro. I'm taking my
Ash lost a lot of battles.
He did. Low key, Ash did not win a lot. Which, you know.
If you had to ask me if he's the Pokemon champion, I would say if it takes you, 25 years to become the Pokemon champion, you might not be the Pokemon champion.
Well, I mean, he did his best. And that's really, he just had the best story. You know, we don't need to hear a story about somebody who had it all and didn't work as hard and didn't have as much fun on the way.
I don't
it's
know
about the journey.
That. I feel like low-key, Ash's journey was pretty dramatic.
It was full of drama and love and friendship.
Didn't he, die?
Did Ash die?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think Pokemon would kill off their main character.
No, but he was in one of the first movies, he was petrified or something. Remember
I think you're talking about the Pokemon movie, which we've talked about many times. And
yeah.
I think so.
Right?
But he was fine.
Like he was turned to stone or something.
Are you proposing that there's an alternate universe before Ash was frozen in time and afterwards?
No, I'm saying
maybe he did die in that instance and everything after is...
I'm saying he's gone through it.
Well, yeah, that's clear.
For such a small child he's just perpetually 15 or something?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, it's a cartoon.
I wanted so desperately for Pokemon to be real when I was a kid.
Me too.
I wanted to catch something and then force that thing to be my friend.
Yeah. Yeah. And then teach it attacks.
Yeah.
Teach it moves.
Grow with it, evolve it.
It would be cool if stuff evolved that quickly.
That would be cool,
how evolution takes a lot of time. What if it just took a year? You just come back, you roll back into the office and they're like, "Hey, Jonathon got his tail! Finally! Hey, buddy! Coming in nice!"
You know how evolution
and you're like,
takes a long time?
Evolution's kicking my ass right now. It's sort of like puberty.
It is kind of like puberty, but instead of a tail, you might get
I guess a tail would be devolving. You'd probably get wings or something. Or telekinesis. I don't know.
I don't know about that. I think there's a lot of situations in where a tail is useful. I could use a tail right now. What
would you do with a tail right now?
Right now, I'd probably whip you with it. Because obviously I would have control of my tail, and I would be able to interact with other people.
You'd whip me with it.
It would be I would beat people with it. Keep my hands clean.
You could probably get pretty famous if you had a tail.
Yeah.
You'd be an influencer for sure.
But it also, the function of the tail would depend entirely on the shape and size of the tail. If I had a traditional, thin, long monkey tail, obviously that's not going to work as well as a killing device.
Sure.
But if I had a large dinosaur tail,
yeah, that now we're talking.
Where you can put some power, some torque into movement, and thus I could knock away potential predators or subdue prey. I'm just I'm thinking a lot of ways I could use.
What if it was
tail.
just a little bunny tail?
That would be less cute.
That'd be cute. Be adorable.
I would cover that up. I would.
Oh, hi, Jonathon.
I wouldn't get specially designed clothing to fit around my tail if it were a small bunny tail.
I think if you were going to turn into an animal, it would probably be a bunny.
Me? No.
Yeah, you kind of look like a bunny.
No. What?
You kind of look like you'd turn into a bunny.
If anyone between the two of us, if anyone would,
you kind of look like you'd eat like this.
Would turn into a bunny, it would be you. You're the one who eats all the vegetables and the greens.
So
you're smaller than I am. If anything, I would turn into a ferocious lion.
Fine, a jackrabbit.
Jackrabbits are
They're pretty sick.
they are pretty cool.
Pretty sick, dude.
But
What-
are they real?
Aren't they?
No one really knows.
Pretty sure they
It's one of those mysteries where no one quite knows.
are. Okay. All right, Mr. Scientist.
But I mean, out of all the animals in the world, I wouldn't turn into a bunny.
I mean, you wouldn't turn into an animal, but if you did, bunny.
Be real, all right? I know you're trying to be funny.
No.
I know you're trying to hurt my feelings.
No,
but
I'm
the
not.
answer is not bunny.
No, I'm not.
Like, I wouldn't say your answer is a toad to insult you.
That would be cool. Toads are sweet.
Toads are gross.
No, toads are pretty cool.
Name 5 cool things about toads.
They hop. They're
Okay.
slippery. They've got big tongues.
Okay.
They live in ponds. That's fun. And they're really good swimmers. Are toads and frogs the exact same? How are they different?
No. Toads are larger,
Oh,
lumpier.
see?
Frogs are smaller and smoother.
But toads can still swim, right?
I don't know. I once threw 15 toads into a lake, and
Why the hell would you throw
come out?
15 toads into a lake?
Because I didn't have 20.
Why did you?
No, I've never done that. I don't know.
Why did I just
think-
assume that you actually threw 15 toads
I'm
somewhere?
thinking larger toads. I don't know if they have the power of swimming.
The power of swimming. I'm using the power of walking.
I certainly don't possess the ability to swim.
You can swim.
No.
You can move.
No.
Come on.
No. I can't. I won't try.
I'll teach you to swim. I mean, while we're teaching Wesley, we can teach you too. It'll be really great. Well, two
Can-
birds, one stone.
Can the instructor hold me?
Yeah,
Cool.
for sure. Kick, Jonathan, kick.
That might actually be really therapeutic. So
It kind of would be nice, like
me
if
know.
someone was just kind of holding you
Yeah.
in the water, almost like you're getting baptized, but you're just learning to swim. What's been going on with you?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, move on.
Okay, we can move on, or do you want to get something off your chest?
Next person.
There's only me. It's just me and you. Next person would be me.
Rain check.
We can do a rain check.
No, I'm trying to think. The baseball season started, which is very exciting for me. This is a thrilling time for me. Don't
Yeah.
make whatever sound you're gonna make, because on like 15 separate occasions you keep saying,
No, I'm a big twin.
I want to get really into baseball.
I'm a big Twins guy. I hope Royce is doing okay. How's the injury report looking for Royce?
They said he would need just a full month off before they would reevaluate,
Oh.
which is bad.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
It's not like in a month he'll be back on the field ramping up. It's in a month we will see how he is.
That sounds like he might need surgery, but we want to wait and see how it looks in a month.
They've supposedly ruled out surgery.
They have.
My understanding.
Well, that's good, though.
Yeah, but it's like my thing is like, fuck, man. Like football, people get injured, but I feel like in baseball, and maybe it's because I pay closer attention, but man, people get injured way frequently. Yeah, man.
They don't get injured more in baseball than football. That's just not true.
I just don't know, man. I pay way more
Yeah, but
attention to baseball and pretty much every team as opposed to like football. I'm really only paying attention to the Vikings and our injury report.
I feel like baseball, it's like, oh, my elbow hurts. And in football, it's like, I tore my pec. Totally different.
I don't. No, you can get some pretty nasty injuries.
Like in football, it's like, oh, that guy almost lost his leg. In baseball, it's like, oh, carpal tunnel.
It's not true, technically. There are some injuries. Like I'm pretty sure, like one time, this one guy dropped his suitcase and like broke his foot, and so he was like out for
That's
for
hilarious.
quite a
What
while.
was in that fucking suitcase, man? What are you carrying around in your suitcase or it broke your foot?
There's also a ton of instances of like players getting mad and then like going back to the dugout and then just punching the wall and breaking their hand.
That's so stupid.
That one's pretty common. But there's also like just a ton of like strains and
Yeah.
ACL injuries,
I'm
elbow
kidding.
injuries.
I know it's an athletic sport. You got to be an athlete. Things can happen. Things can get pulled. Things can get torn. Things can get bruised. Things can get broken. It's a sport.
It's true.
You know what I do love about baseball, though? I love when they get frustrated and they break a bat with their knee. You ever see that?
I've seen it happen this week. I can't remember if it's Manny Machado or Fernando Tatis Jr. for the Padres. One of them tried to do it and just fucking failed, which is
Really?
even better.
Oh,
than
that probably hurt so bad.
Oh, I know. because you can see it like their entire body like react to the fact that it didn't snap.
I mean, it's got to be harder than they make it look sometimes. I've seen them where they're just like,
Yeah.
did you see that? Sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Hey, you okay?
I have nothing to say. Please go.
I just was going to say, remember when Bo Jackson played baseball? There's a clip of him just like snapping a bat.
Do I remember?
Do you remember that? In the 1980s or whatever that was?
Prior to my birth? No.
Have you seen that clip where he just snaps a bat in half? It's incredible.
That I have seen.
That guy's superhuman.
He is.
Awesome.
He also played in the NFL, right?
Yeah, he did.
That's very cool to me.
They don't really let people do that anymore.
No. But there are players that will get drafted, like Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray. He was drafted number 1 overall in the MLB, wasn't he?
He was definitely a first-round pick, and I believe he was a pick for the Athletics.
That sounds right.
Who, by the way, just fucking shit franchise. Horrible.
That's what I've heard.
Terrible ownership.
Besides Moneyball.
I love Moneyball. Huge comfort film. But
So you love the A's?
I love that season of the A's, but their owner doesn't give a shit about the team. That's why they're moving them to Vegas.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're putting more teams in Vegas.
No, here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about team relocation. I think that if I'm a Vegas resident, yes, I want a hockey team. Yes, I want a football team. Yes, I want a baseball team. Iffy on basketball.
Basketball would be sweet.
I would want, as like a Vegas native or like a Vegas resident, I would want my own team. I wouldn't want the Oakland Athletics. I wouldn't want the Oakland Raiders.
That's fair.
I would want my own team. And I'm pretty sure people in Vegas feel the same way. I don't know that there's a ton of Vegas-based Raiders fans.
That's true.
There's a huge following for the Golden Knights, but that's a new franchise.
Right, they were new.
That makes sense to me. And so I think the exact same thing that's going to happen is, that is happening with the Raiders, is the people attending Raiders games aren't Vegas Raiders fans. They are fans of other teams flying into Vegas to see their team play against the Raiders. Mm-hmm. And then maybe you have some people from California
that make the drive.
I'm not that anyone's going to fucking watch the Athletics right now, because the fan base that's actually based in California has been completely alienated. I think they're selling like 3,000 seats a game because there's an active boycott. Mm-hmm. Those people aren't going to go out of their way.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's going to be a bunch of people in Vegas that are just like yeah, Oakland Athletics, one of the worst franchises of all time. Now they're my franchise. So that's my 2 cents on it.
You know what else we did this week, though? That you did this week? We saw Ex Machina.
That was
Do you recall?
last week.
Well, yeah, but we didn't talk about it.
That's true. We watched it directly after recording.
Yeah, we recorded, and then we went off to the movie.
It was good.
It was. I hadn't seen it before, and it was good. I enjoyed it a lot. Oscar Isaac, being like a thick muscle boy, and also a nerd at the same time. Pretty cool about an AI robot that Oscar Isaac did say in the movie is it can fuck. So
yeah, it can fuck.
Just that was an important thing to note in the movie. That was cool. What do you think about AI right now? They got robots. Do you think they're making robots like Ex Machina at this point? Where they're talking and sounding like humans?
I mean, there are people that are doing that, but it is not like on the same level as what's portrayed in.
Well, I know, but I feel like we're getting there.
I mean, yeah, I think long term we'll probably get there, and I think that is a little creepy and probably not great. But what I will say for AI in general is it's cool and it has a lot of cool applications. But my fear is that people are seeing AI as either a get rich or here's how I can quickly do stuff.
Yeah.
And not learn new skills and just have AI do stuff for me.
Yeah. It seems lazy. But also I don't understand why would we create a robot, an AI robot that is human-like? What do we need that for? Why do we need a human robot, a human-like robot? What do we need that for? What is the purpose?
I mean,
just to have a little robot servant?
Yeah,
hey,
I think that's part of it is creating some sort of utilitarian version of AI, and say you're a billionaire and you can afford that kind of thing, and you want a servant or something that just completes tasks for you, you'd probably feel more comfortable with it, interacting with it, if it was more human-like,
Why?
as
No, you
opposed to
wouldn't.
like, what if just like a gray box? You'd rather just have like a metal
Yes.
gray box?
Because I feel like I can control the gray box, but once it has arms and legs and a face, then I'm like, oh, yo, this thing could. I don't want to deal with that. I want a box with no limbs. Like I want to be like, hey, little robot, order me a Philly cheesesteak. Have it delivered to the house. Thank you.
I mean, that's basically an Amazon Alexa.
But then he's also a Roomba at the same time.
So multiple applications.
I don't know. I just don't see why we need. Like, I get that we're using AI and robots to like replace certain jobs and make certain things easier for us, but why would I want a human-like thing in my home with me? That just seems strange. I don't need it. Not that I could ever afford it.
I mean, it's the same reason that Siri has gotten, and Alexa to an extent has gotten less and less robotic and tries to sound more human. Is because it's it's more personal, easier to connect with.
I think what throws me off is like the body. I don't want my robot walking around.
Well, okay.
I don't like that.
I want to be clear. There's no, to my knowledge, there's no ex machina
But they
level.
will. You know they will. Somebody's gonna do it.
I mean, if someone has the power to make it happen and make it fuck, they're gonna make it happen and they're gonna make it fuck.
Well, that's true. It all comes back to that, really. That's just human.
'Cause humans are gross, disgusting primal
Disgusting.
creatures that crave flesh.
Icky.
The other thing I will say about AI is it's like genuinely terrifying how easy it is to use AI and deepfake technology to like manipulate people and trick people into thinking that someone has said something that they haven't, or that something has happened that hasn't. Already not
I agree.
thrilled with all of the misinformation that just flies around on Twitter without, or really any social media platform for that matter, without any sort of checking, because people love free speech, and I ranted about it last week, but love free speech, but are not willing to do the due diligence of checking to see whether or not something's real or not. And so like you can find videos of like deepfake videos of politicians saying shit, and if you didn't know deepfake technology was a thing, you didn't know that this was something that's now introduced into our world, you wouldn't have thought twice about it. Like it seems funny, like you'll see a video of Trump and Biden singing a cowboy song together. Wee-hee! And
That's
then
great.
The next thing is, it's a video of Biden authorizing a nuclear strike on Russia.
Right.
Which is like,
which isn't cool.
yeah, not
We
cool.
don't want that. I mean, like so many of the, like if you go on Twitter and just look at like comments, replies, so many of them are bots. Like,
Oh, yeah.
how many people on the internet are not real? You know what I mean? Like how many people that, like if you're scrolling through Reddit, you're looking at comments, how many of those are real people? Or are they like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like it like blows my mind. Like most people on the internet could just be interacting with other people who aren't even real.
That's called the dead internet theory.
Yeah.
And it's seeming increasingly more likely. I follow a bunch of like twins beat writers on Twitter, and every single time I like open up their post, there's like the top 10 replies are all nudes in bio. Check out my hot body in bio, and it's like I go there and I check out their nudes.
Of course,
in
you
bio.
go there. Yeah, well,
but it's
you got to
I've
click
gotten
on it.
so many viruses, so few nudes in bio.
You should probably stop doing that.
Well, one of them is going to hit.
One of them's got to be real.
But yeah, it's a problem. We're using it.
It's crazy.
in-
What are they
in
going to
the wrong-
replace next? Podcasters? How could they do that?
We should just like not even sit here, or just like film as like a still image of us, and just like do text to speech,
Yeah.
so that we don't actually have to do any work.
We'll do a whole episode of just We'll chat GPT an episode.
You could do that.
We could do it. It'd probably be better than our episodes, I bet.
The funny thing is, like I know a lot of people use AI and like Chat GPT to like formulate responses, especially in the corporate world.
Yeah.
And you can like just tell right off the bat when someone has like, hey, can you write this email for me? And it's just like they're using like old English
Yeah.
phrasing, and it's like,
I feel like that is still, at least what I've seen and how people have used it in a business context. I think it's useful to like get a start on what you're doing. Like if you're writing text for something, but then obviously it needs eyes on it to edit and make it through the actual voice of, like if you're talking through the voice of your company. Like I don't think you should just, ChatGPT threw this out there. Let's just It's public. It's to print. Like, that's crazy. You still need human eyes on it at this point. Otherwise, you're gonna be just spouting off weird shit.
Yeah, I too many people see it as a replacement without any further intervention, and that
I mean, eventually it will be though.
I don't know.
Soon you'll be married to a robot.
What about my
Dude, could you imagine people marrying robots?
What about my flesh fiance?
Well, she'll probably find a robot too.
Oh,
Probably one taller and
taller,
with a deeper, sexier voice,
deeper,
and
sexier.
probably just like performs better in like the kitchen, like cooks for her a lot better.
Yeah.
Do you marry a robot? Would you do that?
Would I? No.
What if they were kind of like your soulmate though?
No.
Ooh, here's a different one.
My soulmate. What do you mean by that?
What if
Is there a robot out there that likes me that much?
could probably check those comments. click on those links.
My nudes in bio. I love you.
What if Emily's consciousness was updated or like uploaded into a robot?
I'd beat
Like,
that thing with a
God
hammer.
forbid, horrible things happen. She's in a coma. All of a sudden, they're like, well, we can pull the plug or we can upload her consciousness to this robot and you can live with the robot. It's still her.
I'd beat that robot with the hammer.
I don't like that answer.
I'm
It's still Emily, bro.
anti-Terminator.
Okay.
I know there's a show. I think is it called Upload?
I don't know.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's a show. I think it's called Upload. I've never seen it, but I've seen clips and snippets of it. But I think it's about a dude who dies, and then they upload his consciousness, and so like he can like still interact with people on the outside, or he can interact with people
That's cool.
like within.
That is like, isn't there a Black Mirror episode as well? That's kind of like,
I don't know,
doing
but like
that.
the things that like a lot of like the cool functions and features of the digital afterlife are like paywalled, and so like unless you can
They
afford, yeah, exactly.
they would.
Exactly. If Emily was in a robot,
Yeah.
I would power it down unless I needed something. I mean, the energy draw on those things got to be astronomical.
That's true. Your electrical bill might
and
be.
she would understand.
Yeah. I mean, I think she would. I think that's enough. I need. Do you want to know about what I did this week?
No, I think we can move on.
Okay.
Just
Recommendation. I'm just kidding.
I'm really excited to hear whatever cool.
Well,
stuff
you were there. You were there.
Oh yeah, I totally.
We had my son's first birthday party. He's not technically one yet,
Yeah, he's
but
not.
he'll be one in like a week or two or whatever. But and we're doing something for that next weekend.
What?
Not this weekend, but next weekend. No. But this past weekend, that's just when everybody could get together. So that's when we did the party. It was fun. It was cool. It was camping themed. So the theme was One Happy Camper. Me and Megan had shirts that said One Happy Dada, One Happy Mama. And Wesley was supposed to have one that said One Happy Camper. But I ordered it and it didn't come in time. So he just had a shirt that said Happy Camper.
Did you see my shirt?
No.
It said one drunk fucker.
Yeah.
You didn't see
that's
that?
usually accurate.
Thank you.
You're back on the sauce again.
Yeah.
Even after the intervention, huh?
Yeah,
I thought we got to you.
made it 15 minutes
You cried, bro.
before I opened my Miller High Life collection.
Everyone leaves out the door, and you're cracking up and open another cold one.
Well, I was like, gee, I really need to process this. A beer will do it.
I can't think without a drink. But his party was fun. It went to plan. I mean, we had the little trivia game. We did presents.
Call attention to.
Oh yeah, Emily won the trivia game.
Okay, and what else?
She got a gift card.
No, okay. So there was a tie.
Yes.
It was 10 questions, and the max number of questions that people got right was 7. And Emily and I both got 7 right.
Yeah, you both got 7.
And I want you to know that your question on his favorite food was misleading.
That was kind of the purpose of the question, though, was to throw people off.
Because they had this very cute board up front that like had quick Wesley facts.
Yeah.
And it listed his favorite foods, and avocado was like listed first.
Oh, it was?
I'm pretty sure. And
Did it say favorite foods on there?
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
And also, I just need you to acknowledge that Emily and I crushed it.
Oh, you did. No, you crushed it. I was very proud of you guys.
Thank
You know him. No, his favorite food is waffles. He eats waffles almost every day.
And I should have known that waffles are way more accessible
Yeah.
than avocado.
And I mean, I guess you could say avocados are up there too. They're probably number 2. The only reason he doesn't eat them as often is because they're so messy. He gets avocado all over himself. It's everywhere. But he loves waffles. Like, I'll go, and I feel bad saying that because waffles is probably the most processed food that he eats, and it's his favorite thing, which, whatever. We do our best to not give him processed foods, but he loves waffles, and he eats them, so we give them to him. But I'll like go over to the freezer, and he's already smiling. He knows I'm grabbing waffles.
That's so cute. And also, he's trying to bulk right now. It doesn't matter what
That's
you're
true.
putting in him.
He's trying to grow, bro. I mean, we need to get carbs in him. Avocados are good though, the fats and all that good stuff. But no, he eats pretty good. But the party was fun. Emily did win the trivia game. The tiebreaker was guessing what time he was born, which no one got it right, but we gave it to whoever was closest, and Emily was about half hour off, so she got it.
I was a couple minutes away from Emily.
Yeah,
So
you guys were in the ballpark.
pretty close.
In the ballpark. But then he also had his smash cake, which he wasn't that into. Like he didn't. I don't think he really ate much of the cake. He kind of played with it for a while. He was more interested in the fork than the cake, really. Once he realized he could kind of like put it in the cake and like pull it out and like make a mess, he thought that was fun. So he did get like frosting all over him and stuff, but he didn't like eat a ton of it. I didn't see him eat a ton of cake, which is fine. It was still fun. And yeah, there was a lot of people there. Shout out to anyone who came. If you're listening, you rock. And thanks for celebrating my son. He's great.
And if you didn't attend, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, well, they were invites, but
And if you didn't get invited, feel
you're
bad.
You're dead to me. No. So yeah, but for his actual birthday, we're taking a trip up to Duluth, so we're gonna do a night up there. Probably do some swimming at the hotel.
Aw.
Probably just, I don't know, go around Duluth. He's a little traveler, loves to see new stuff, so we're taking him up to Duluth.
That's exciting.
Yeah, show him the canal bridge.
Man, I'm not doing anything this weekend.
Well, this weekend. It's not this
I'm
weekend.
not doing anything 2 weekends from now. I'm just kidding. I just like making you uncomfortable. I actually am doing something that weekend. His actual birthday weekend.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Remember? It's
No.
Ben's bachelor party.
Oh, yeah, the thing I wasn't invited to. Cool.
The original.
Yeah, have fun,
The
dude.
original reason you guys moved Wesley's birthday party.
Yeah, have fun, bro.
I just want to call attention to that. You guys moved it because I couldn't go. You're like, we need Jonathon there. He's
We
kind of.
do. What would a party be without Uncle Johnny?
I'm kind of the lifeblood of any social gathering.
You are. Yeah, you're the glue that holds everyone together.
I like to sit in the corner and like just grumble to myself.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I got a recommendation.
Okay.
Unless you have more stuff you'd like to talk about your week.
Nope.
So I watched a new show
Yeah.
on Netflix,
What is it?
and it's pretty good, and I'm going to talk about it.
Okay.
Recommendation of the week.
Yep.
I'm going to start off by saying the show was recommended to me by my brother David
Okay.
and my coworker Joe, just because if I talked about the show without mentioning either of them, I would get a text and a message on Teams that was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Give me my credit where it's due. So the show is called The 3-Body Problem.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's an 8 or 9, I think 8 episode series. The first season just dropped not too long ago. I don't want to give too much away, but it is a science fiction series.
Nice.
It is about how in the 1960s-ish, a woman sent this signal into space to try to make contact with an otherworldly entity.
Cool.
And in the present day, that entity is interacting back with humanity.
Nice.
So it's very cool science fiction. There's some high concept stuff that flew over my head because I'm a blue-blooded moron. But it was overall very enjoyable. It's the showrunners are the same dipshits that did Game of Thrones.
Same dipshits.
Well, they did a really good job, and then they phoned it in the last few seasons. So the last few seasons of Game of Thrones sucked. But it's cool because a lot of the actors that were on Game of Thrones are in the show,
Oh, really?
Which is fun. I always
Amelia
liked
Clark.
it. No.
That's the only one I care about.
Nor is Kit Harington. Basically, all of the actors that I wouldn't be able to tell you their name.
They're in it.
Yeah. But it's really good. Very interesting. Very eerie. There's definitely like kind of like a. I don't know that horror would be the right descriptor, but there's definitely like gore and like spooky shit that happens.
Sweet.
So it's very entertaining. I binged it over the weekend while I was dog sitting, and I would recommend it. Again, 3 Body Problem on Netflix.
Boo, 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 boo. Extraterrestrials.
It's
Communication.
based on a book written in 2006.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Would you?
Yeah, sure, man. I love aliens. Love to meet one day.
I don't know that I would.
Why not?
What if it's really into me and wants to take me back?
Dude, then you'll probably have a better life wherever they're from. They probably have robots that talk to you with full bodies.
You just said that's not what you wanted.
Well, maybe they figured it
We're
out.
barreling towards that advancement in technology, and you're scared. You'd rather be serviced by like a gray box than a beautiful robot.
Yes. Why did you give it curves when you did that? If you were watching on YouTube, he gave it a little. He gave it a caboose.
I said beautiful. That's the hand motion.
He kind of gave it the track.
If you were describing something,
so beautiful to you is this shape. People have to be a certain shape to be beautiful.
Yeah.
We can't appreciate beauty or beautiful. Like it has to be curvy, huh?
All right, get him his award. A true feminist over
You
here.
son of a bitch. Cool. Yeah, no, I'll watch that show. Do you want to hear my rec of the week?
I'm just saying, I am. I'm not gonna go down that road.
wait. What? What?
No. I'm not gonna go down.
What are you saying?
I was just gonna make a point that like if we got to the point of like fully lifelike robots,
Yeah.
they probably would be all like impossible.
Like the perfect human form.
Like you wouldn't see
Which is
like
bullshit.
you wouldn't see like a me robot.
What? Well, I'm sure you could customize.
Although there's probably some freak down, out there that would want this.
There's chubby chasers out there.
Yeah. She's
Not to say that you are
sitting
one.
on the couch over there.
You look great, by the way.
Thank you.
I didn't mean anything by that.
That was a funny joke.
Yeah, well, I got it.
You called my fiance a chubby chaser.
No, that's not what I said. I apologize. I didn't mean to call you that.
It's all good.
I just
dude.
mean those people exist.
Get out of my apartment.
Okay. Anyways,
They do. They definitely
they
do.
exist.
Different strokes
People
for
have,
different
yeah,
folks.
people have different preferences. That's all I'm saying. My rec of the week.
He's sweating. He's nervous.
My rec of the week is also a show we've been watching. Me and Megan have been watching this show on Max. I've already told you about it, but I'm going to talk about it again.
Band of Brothers.
These folks, no. Austin Butler Airplane Show.
That's on Apple TV.
I know.
It's not on Max.
Dude. Okay, yeah. So this show is called Tokyo Vice. Pause for dramatics. Tokyo Vice is a show on HBO Max, or just Max now, as they call it. It is about an American man who lives in Japan. He's studying to become a news reporter. Once he passes his test, he becomes this news reporter. This isn't spoilers. It all happens within the first half of the first episode. He becomes a news reporter at the largest newspaper in Japan, based on a true story, might I add. So he becomes a reporter at this newspaper in Japan, and he begins uncovering drama and deep secrets about the Japanese mob, a.k.a. the Yakuza.
Oh, I just knocked.
And he works with police officers, and he works with some of the mob people, and it's got everything. It's got action. It's got drama. It's got sex. It does have sex. And
Uncensored?
What do you mean uncensored?
Like
Nobody's blurred out. It's Max. It's HBO.
you can still have censored things.
I think
on
there's
Max.
boobs in it. I don't know. Is that what you're
Is it
asking?
sex simulated?
Mr. Follow this link for nudes.
Is it simulated sex?
It's a show. So I don't think the actors are really having sex.
Commit.
It's acting.
Is it too much to ask for an actor to commit to their work, to their craft?
Okay.
If I'm in a movie, you better bet I'm fucking.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You bet. I don't think they let them do that.
I'm sorry. I just be saying stuff.
I think you'd be making different types of movies at that point.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be on the big screen.
You think I'd fare better as a
You'd be more on the small iPhone screen.
porn? My iPhone's not small. Do you think I'd be a better porn actor than just a regular actor? Really?
Yeah, man.
That's a compliment.
I think you've got what it takes.
That's a compliment. Just want to hand me a blanket. I mean, it's a compliment if you look at it a certain way.
Yeah. No, I think it is. It's not like porn actors aren't talented in some way.
No, they're definitely.
Although the porn industry is very problematic, so.
Yeah. I would turn it around.
You would.
Yeah.
You'd be like Mark Wahlberg in Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Have you seen Boogie Nights?
I've seen parts of Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights is so good. One of my favorite movies.
Doesn't he get like abused in that? I don't want to be Mark Wahlberg.
Well, it's a great movie. I'm gonna be something. I'm gonna make something of myself. And Philip Seymour Hoffman is in that movie as well.
R.I.P. One of the
R.I.P.
greats.
It's a great movie. And the last scene, you would love the last scene.
I've seen the last scene specifically.
Yeah, no, you could definitely work in porn for sure.
Ben went out of his way to show it to me.
Of course he did. Of course, Ben went out of his way to show you that scene.
He's a good friend.
Anyways, Tokyo Vice, yes, there's sex in it, whatever. But the point is, there's crime and drama and action, and it's crazy. We just finished season 1. Season 2, I'm not sure if the whole season's on Max, because I think they might be still putting it out, and it just gets put on as it gets put out. I don't know, but we're on season 2. We just watched the first episode of season 2. It is wild! So, recommendation of the week, Tokyo Vice. Tokyo Vice. If you like crime, if you like news,
News.
if you like Japan.
I like Japan.
Japan's sick.
I'd like to go someday.
Me too.
Should we?
Yeah, sure.
What are you doing 2 weeks from now?
Busy. Sorry.
That was my one opening in the
Oh,
year.
well, can't do it.
Shame.
Well, do you have a question?
I do.
Of the day?
Yeah. What's your least favorite thing about me?
Is that really your question?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
That's not
I
your
was going to ask it last week, and I was like,
What's my least favorite thing about you?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Is that also reverse? Like, if you're answering it, what's your least favorite thing about me?
And I'm locked and loaded. Whenever you're ready. No, I really want you to go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
What's my least favorite thing about you? There's so much to love.
Don't pull punches.
They just start ripping you apart. You cry on camera.
I'm just weeping by the end of it. That's all we have time for. No, man, I can handle it.
I don't have that many criticisms, man. You're like
Many. That means you at least have one.
You're like one of my best friends, and I love you.
Aw.
That being said, I think, dude, I don't know. You don't do anything that like makes me mad.
Really?
Not really. You're like my comfort person.
Aw.
Besides Megan and Wesley and like 6 other people.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. No, but like you're like every time I see you, it's a good time. I never dread seeing Jonathon. I've never in my life thought, oh, I gotta go see Jonathon. I think sometimes you you talk about baseball too much.
No.
Yep.
No,
You do. You did it on this podcast. Pretty sure you did it last week.
that's not good enough. Dig harder.
What do you mean? That's pretty tough. That's like one of your big identity things is baseball.
Yeah?
It's the biggest thing about you.
Yeah?
You have that little bat that you
That's the biggest thing about me. I watch baseball.
That's kind of a dig. You carry around that tiny little bat all the time.
Well, that's for...
You carry that baseball in your pocket in case anyone wants a catch.
I am quite fond of my baseball.
You have your lucky mitt that you carried around in high school to every class. until someone stole it, spit in your face, and called you a slur.
That man was Neil.
Your feet are too big.
Your feet are too small.
I know. I wish they were bigger.
Can I be honest about something?
Yeah,
I kind of like pointing out when I have big feet, you know?
that's true.
It's completely out of my control. You know, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
But when someone's like, man, your feet are big, I'm like, yeah, they are. Don't read into it, though.
I hate when people mention stuff like that. And maybe it's because I am a small person. But because people like look at you so differently when you're short or small. They literally do. They treat you differently. Don't act like it's not true. They do. And people are always like when people mention my height, it is the most offensive thing you can do to me. Because it is absolutely bullshit. I did not choose how tall I was. If you have a problem with my height, you can get bent. Like, I don't, like, it's insane how often I've run into people, including family members, who mention my height. And it's like, I don't give a flying fuck what you think about my height.
But here's what, okay, I was going to bring this up.
This was going to be your least favorite thing about me was that I'm short?
No. That you hate that you're short. That you hate a part of yourself.
I don't hate it. I hate that other people have a problem with it.
Okay. Same.
And all the talls, they'll all be like, oh, I don't care. I don't care. But you look down on me, not just literally, but figuratively as well.
All right. Yes or no, as friends, we pick on each other.
Yes.
Okay.
All the time.
That's been established. We pick on each other. That's okay. We have fun. All right. From my perspective, what am I going to pick on when I'm talking to you? Can't call you ugly. You're fucking beautiful.
It's not true.
Can't say you don't get bitches. You have a wonderful wife and a beautiful
I
child.
wouldn't call that getting bitches, but that sounds like... Okay, sure. Go on.
That's like the colloquial term.
Getting bitches. Getting married is getting bitches.
Well, it's like...
I've won the game of getting bitches.
You have.
Yeah.
You've conquered
So have
it.
you.
You can't...
Congratulations.
I'm not married yet.
Well, pretty close.
Haven't locked it down. You're successful. You're good at what you do.
That's relative.
You're talented. You have wonderful hair. I'm literally balding, so that's just something.
one I'll
That's
get
something
to.
I can't talk about.
It's thick.
You dress really well, so you can see like all of the things that I might make fun of you for are quickly off the table. Because if I was like, your hair looks dumb, we would both know that's a lie.
Sure.
And the best way to insult someone is with the truth. So naturally, your height might come up more often. But I've always viewed it as if you think there's a God out there, your height is his way or their way, however you look at God or the existence of a God.
Yeah.
Your height is like a check and a balance.
You're just trying to say that the deity up above who created me.
I've said this many times. If you were tall, if you were 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", that's it. That's end game. That's not fair.
But there are people who have all that.
Yeah.
Why don't I get it too? There are people who are 6'3" and good looking and successful and rich. Why do they get it all? Why didn't God check them, huh?
Well, they've probably got some other huge flaw.
4 toes.
4 toes. It's always 4 toes.
Too big of testicles.
I want you to look at your height not as something to feel bummed about, but look at all the advantages. You can squeeze into tiny spaces.
It's true.
You're always squeezing into tiny spaces.
I'm always squeezing in places.
Do you know how uncomfortable it is to sit on a plane?
No.
Incredibly uncomfortable.
I have no idea.
Do you know how hard it is?
Well, we always go Delta Comfort these days, so we have a little more leg room.
Okay, so subtle brag.
Just kidding. Low-key flex.
You know how hard it is getting a full view of a concert? Sucks. It's a strain on my eyes.
Fuck you. Fuck you, bro. What the fuck you?
I'm just all the ways.
You know how often I'm at a concert and a fucking 6'6" Goliath of a human just walks directly in front of me and stands there? It's like, go fuck yourself, buddy. Get in the back.
Yeah.
You can see from anywhere.
If I was that tall that I would be like actively blocking people, I would like to think I would have the self-awareness to like hang around back so you're not ruining
or like
15 people
I don't
behind
know,
you.
just be self-aware. If it's somebody who's in the 5s, do a courtesy. At least stand in front of somebody who's in the 6s.
That is one of my favorite things, and we've gone to quite a few concerts with each other
Yeah.
nowadays, it happens several times at concert where like some gargantuan motherfucker will step in between, like in front of both of us, and we'll
Every
just, like,
time.
just give each other a look
It's every time.
because there's nothing you can do about it.
I mean, you just know eventually the crowd moves and you'll
Yeah.
probably get away from them, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah. Well, what were you going to say about me?
I just told you
My height? That was your whole thing? Your
height-
least favorite thing about me?
your height sensitivity.
Oh, your least favorite thing about me is my sensitivity about height. It's funny, kind of funny how I brought it up myself then.
Yeah.
Well, it's people like you that are the problem.
I also just wished you liked you as much as I like you and see all the positive things about yourself.
That's so sweet, bro.
But everyone has their own issues with self-consciousness.
Yeah, it's kind of,
Not me. I mean, I'm fucking perfect.
You are. No, you were. I mean, God carved you out of marble, buddy. You are exactly what was intended for the human race to be.
A scary thought.
Built in Jonathan's image.
That would suck.
No,
It would. That wouldn't be good.
just a billion Jonathans walking around. Perfect.
No one would have good hair.
Perfection.
Everyone would try to kiss each other.
That's true.
I mean, because when I look in the mirror,
They call him Johnny Kiss Kiss. That's what they call him.
I want to walk that back. That sounds really weird. To be clear, I was saying I would want to kiss myself. I don't kiss.
Oh, you meant... Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't kiss strangers. I don't do that.
No, you don't. Not that I know of.
Only my friends and my family.
We don't like it either.
All right, you have some bizarre news.
Bizarre news. Okay, so I was going to go with a silly little news story, but I think I'm going to call an audible because I need to talk about this. And maybe you've heard about it if you are in tune with the music zeitgeist and what's going on in hip-hop right now.
Slow Dive has broken up.
I said hip-hop.
Oh.
Slow Dive is alive and well, and they're a shoegaze band. Hip-hop. If you have tuned in to the most recent Future and Metro Boomin collab album titled We Don't Trust You, you might have noticed, and you might be aware, that there is a huge rap beef going on right now. Huge. I'm talking colossal. Biggest beef possibly, hopefully, since Tupac and Biggie, baby. This shit is crazy. It's popping off right now. So, Future and Metro Boomin created this album called We Don't Trust You. It's evident after listening to the whole thing that the whole album is essentially dissing Drake. So, Future and Metro Boomin, Future and Drake used to work together all the time. They used to make songs together. They themselves had a collab album that came out in 2015. But in the last few years, they haven't been making music. It's recently come out that Drake and Future are no longer friends. Some believe that this is due to some sort of drama between them and a girl. Like maybe it's been said that possibly Future hooked up with this girl that Drake low-key kind of liked or something. So they've been beefing and they haven't been friends for a while now. Metro Boomin has low-key been beefing with Drake for a while. I think they had some beef on Twitter going back and forth or something. But the kicker here... Are you sitting down?
I've been sitting down for
So,
48 minutes.
the biggest thing that is popping off that people most likely heard about was this track called Like That, featuring Kendrick Lamar. So the best thing about this album and what a lot of big artists do now is they have hidden features on the album. So when it first drops, none of the features are listed. If you go on there now, it's listed. But when it first came out, within those first 2 days, they did not list any of the features so that you could listen to it and be surprised on who's on the song. So Kendrick Lamar had this unlisted feature on Like That, where he came out with this verse dissing both Drake and J. Cole directly.
Aw.
The reason he dissed them was because they came out with a song on Drake's previous album, For All the Dogs, titled First Person Shooter. Now, the song had a line from J. Cole talking about the big three, meaning the big three rappers right now.
Can I guess them?
Sure.
Asher Roth?
No.
Okay.
Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick was what he was referencing in the song. So Kendrick, in his verse... There's a lot of shots at Drake throughout the whole verse, but the biggest, I guess, exclamation mark on it was this line saying, "Fuck the big three, it's just big me," says Kendrick.
That's pretty good.
So basically Kendrick took offense to this song, which I don't think was meant to really be a diss song. It was Drake and J. Cole or J. Cole in this specific line saying like, "Hey, we're the best right now." Whatever. But also after that line, J. Cole did refer to himself as Muhammad Ali, ergo he thinks he's the best. So there's a lot of drama with this. Kendrick took offense to that line, thinking like, fuck you guys. No, I'm better than you. You won't even belong in the same conversation as me. So Kendrick went on in his verse. Let me pull up some of these lyrics because a lot of them are shots at Drake. Hold on. I've got my Genius app. Give me a second.
I just want to say you've been nailing the explanation of this without any sort of reference material in front of you.
Oh, I'm deep with this.
I can tell.
And it goes much further back than what I've been explaining and what I will probably explain. Just because it's been... Drake and Kendrick have been dissing each other like kind of low-key for the last like 10 years. Like, they don't like each other. They haven't liked each other for a while. And they've been sneak dissing each other for a decade.
Is dissing through music one of the most toxic ways to handle beef, or one of the least toxic ways?
I mean, the whole thing about this is none of it really matters.
Yeah.
The people that it matters to most are the rappers. The audiences, we're just here for the entertainment. Like, I don't think, like, even if there's this big beef, they go back and forth with diss tracks. Whoever comes out on top, I don't think it's really going to affect people's fan bases at all. Like, nobody's going to be like, oh, Kendrick won the beef. I can't be a Drake fan anymore. Like, that doesn't matter. But it does matter in the overall, I guess, perception of their peers and their legacy as a whole. So, like, whoever would win this beef may continue to go down as maybe the greatest rapper of all time, or one of them for sure. And it could, on the other hand, hurt the legacy of the other people. So... Kendrick says on a few of these lines, let me just go through a couple of them. These people
What word are you trying to say?
Talking out they necks, don't pull no coffin out your mouth. I'm way too paranoid for a threat. So what he's saying, he's referencing a line that Drake said, turning your tracks to a funeral, also on that first person shooter song. So he's basically saying they're talking out of their necks, don't pull a coffin out of your mouth. Basically, don't kill your own career by talking too much. I'm way too paranoid for a threat. Like, I will do something if you threaten me. He says, there's a lot of goofies with a check. I hope them sentiments symbolic. Meaning, Drake has a deal with Nike, check. Also gets money, check. Also, people also alluded to that, meaning that there's a lot of people on Twitter with check marks that are goofy, that, like Drake probably has one, where they're paying for their influence without actually having earned it, which people also assume that is towards Drake as well. And he's saying, hope them sentiments symbolic, meaning, I hope when you say you think you're the best, you don't really mean it because you know it's me. Let's go on. I'll skip through some of these. Basically, the biggest one after the whole like big three, it's big me, whatever. There's only a couple other ones that we should really discuss here. But he's also calling him a bum throughout this because he had like a kind of an ad lib almost where he's like, bum! Calling him a bum.
That's a good insult, though. It's hard to walk back from being called a bum.
I know. You're dead in the water if you're a bum. So the other thing he said is, I'm really like that. Your best work is a light pack. Homie, Prince outlived Mike Jack. Bum!
Who's Mike Jack?
He means Michael Jackson. So, your best work is a light pack, meaning your best work sucks. And then Kendrick has referred to himself, comparing himself to Prince, as in Prince, from Minnesota, shout out. And Drake has in the past referred to himself as Michael Jackson. He said like he's one hit away from being Michael, all that kind of stuff. And what he means by this is basically Prince was regarded as more of an artist, Michael was more of a pop star. Basically, Kendrick is an artist, Drake's not. Also, Prince literally did outlive Michael Jackson, so I think he's saying that my career is going to outlast yours. Yours is going to die like before mine will. And the last thing he said, for all your dogs getting buried, that's a K with all these nines, you're going to see Pet Cemetery, which is a great bar. But also, For All the Dogs was Drake's previous album, or his most recent album. A K is a gun. and
Or a strikeout in baseball.
that too.
And
You're
Pet
going to see Pet Cemetery, meaning for all the dogs. You're going to die.
Well, I mean that, and it's a pretty clear and unambiguous reference to Stephen King's
also
Pet Cemetery.
Pet Cemetery, which I saw on Reddit. Someone pointed out that movie is also about a father burying his sons, meaning Kendrick's calling them his sons.
There's far too many layers for this.
There is very many layers. And then he closed off the verse saying, "Bum!" So, in conclusion, this is popping off right now. There's a huge beef between Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole. Drake and J. Cole on one side, Kendrick on the other. But people are waiting for a response from Drake and J. Cole. They have not said anything really so far. They've been pretty quiet. Although Drake is currently on tour. His tour ends this week. And J. Cole is, right now, he's in album mode. So he's making his newest album right now. So I think J. Cole needs to respond before he drops that album. And Drake should respond as soon as possible because people are starting to talk already. This is so much fun.
It's so catty.
It is so silly, but it is so much fun. It's like fucking Game of Thrones, man. It's like fucking Game of Thrones, man, but in music. It's so cool. I can't wait to see what happens. I hope Drake and J. Cole both respond. But, I mean, as much as I love all those guys, I think Kendrick will probably wash with them. So.
That's all we have time for.
Bizarre news. That's been bizarre news.
Oh. That's all we got time for. Drop in the comments if you think Drake will win, if you think Kendrick will win, or if you're just curious what Suge Knight is up to. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, man. Just watch out for those robots that have arms and legs. You know, they might strangle you. We all know how Ex Machina ended. That's it.